What's up everyone? It's April 17th, 2024. I'm gonna share with you on this video my blueprint for building wealth now and into the future. And this can be applicable to any generation, Gen Z, Millennial, even Gen Alpha. I know that they're pretty young right now, Gen X, the boomers, any generation, this can be valuable for you. Now, it is April 17th. I would be remiss if I didn't call it the fact that right now we are still pre-Bitcoin halving. If you do not know what the Bitcoin halving is, it's really, really important to learn about whether you're in Bitcoin or you're interested in Bitcoin. Understanding what the halving is paramount to understanding how Bitcoin works. I will leave 2 links below so you can dive into that if that is at all interesting. This video here was really inspired by a CNBC video I just watched on YouTube, and I'll put what that video looks like here, and I'll put the link above. That video is called Why $100,000 Salary Can't Buy the American Dream. It's everything you think. It's debt, it's inflation, it's rising asset prices. It's the fact that everything just costs more, right? So go watch that, but that inspired me to share this. And this is a video about my blueprint for building wealth and really what I'm doing. I'm gonna tell you exactly what I'm doing. A lot of people kind of ask why I kind of live the life I live, but this won't really get into my particular habits and how I save, then how I invest, and then where I spend my money. But it's going to give you a larger philosophical idea that I'm really, I've been a part of since about 2015, and I'm continuing to be a part of it today. Now, the first thing you have to realize in this video, we're gonna talk about separating a lot of things that are often assumed to be together. And that first thing is separating where you make your money and where you spend your money. And that is a fancy way of basically saying, or a long about way of saying, you need to find a way to work remote. This is exceedingly important. You need to find a way to make a currency and then spend another currency. So those are 2 currencies. And this is something that the digital nomad community has known for a while. I was first introduced to that back in 2015, living in Central America. And 9 years later, I am still doing my best to separate the currency that I make and then the currency that I spend. So could be if you're making euros and you're spending Argentine pesos, if you're making the dollar and you're spending Guatemalan quetzales, whatever it is, you wanna make one currency and then spend a currency ideally that is favorable to the currency where you make your money, right? That seems fairly obvious. That's probably number 1. You need to know that the second you can find remote work, you're gonna be able to probably build more wealth, especially in this high inflation environment. And once again, this goes back to the video of why $100,000 salary can't buy the American dream. Especially many friends in New York tell me that even making $100,000 now, it just doesn't cut it. It doesn't get them to where they wanna be. It maybe allows them to get a roof over their head, to be able to pay for transportation, to put some food on the table, probably pay down some of their student debt, but they can't be investing. They can't be going on vacations they want to. They can't be traveling. They can't even just go to a restaurant and not kind of look at the bill and think about what is in my bank account, right? So I think in order to try to live that life, you can do it on even half of that amount if you follow this kind of blueprint that I've been using, right? So you could even make $50,000 a year, but you could live in a place, especially within the US time zones, living in Latin America, but being on a much more favorable currency. So this is what I'm doing. I make the US dollar from a US company. I live in South America, where then I spend the peso, right, which is favorable to the dollar. And then the other side, the third part, I save and invest in cryptocurrency, focusing all of that in Bitcoin. So that allows me to separate those 3 things. First of all, you gotta separate where you work from where you spend your money. That's really important. Even if you make $150,000, but you're living in Soho, New York, it's not gonna feel like $150,000. It may feel like 120, maybe even 110, especially after taxes, and you're paying all your stuff, and you're paying $3,000 for your apartment, and your utilities are $200 a month, et cetera, et cetera. And when you go out and you take someone out to eat, it's $300. That's just not, it's not gonna cut it. So what you wanna do is you wanna try to be making one currency, spending another currency, and saving in another currency. Saving and or investing in another currency. That is my advice. It's a pretty simple video. If you have any questions, you can please reach out. You can find me at More Than Blockchain on Twitter, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, gosh, even on Facebook. On most social medias, we are there at More Than Blockchain. So go ahead and find me, reach out. If you can work remote and you are stateside or you're wherever you are, reach out and we can talk about how you can set this up. This is going to allow you to live a much better life. Even if you're making $30,000 to $50,000 a year in the United States and you feel like, oh, you're barely making ends meet, right? $100,000 would be great, but I still can't buy the American dream. You could be making around 30 to 50 living in Latin America and probably having a better life where you're going to separate where the money you make, the money you spend, and then the money you save. That is super, super important for anyone right now who would like to build wealth, because we're in a high inflation environment. Stuff continues to get more expensive, and as they print money, we're going to devalue the currency that we have. You're going to devalue your dollars. As I tell people all the time, your single family house in the United States has not become exponentially more valuable. The dollars that go in to buy that house have become less valuable. Therefore, we need more of them to buy your home. And this is why your home value goes up. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this. Please go ahead, like this, subscribe, share it with someone else. Like I said, if you're interested in what this looks like, if you can work fully remote and you're trying to figure out how to get down to Latin America, reach out. I would say DM on Instagram or DM on Twitter. Hope you enjoy this video, and I'll see you next time.